The Bears 22, Green Bay 16. Another insane game where we've beaten the mob, but we made an absolute hash out of it. Um, but God, what a game. Another heart attack type game. And I feel ill saying this, but I will say it. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for last night for beating the Lions, which confirms that the Bears are now in the playoffs guaranteed, which is unbelievable considering where we were last year. Obviously, some work to do because we could get better positions in the playoffs, get home advantage, but unbelievable achievement by this team. But going back to the Green Bay game, bloody hell. I mean, even though we won 90% of the game, I felt like the offense was actually not great. The play calling wasn't great either. You can like case in point, you look at the first drive where, we Caleb looked as locked in as he has been, and then the running game was looking good, and then we tried doing a little trick play with Komet behind the center, went tits up pretty quickly, let's be honest. Um, it just felt like we got too cute, I think. And then after that, we didn't really do much offensively for a long time. But you got to say, hats off to the defense. They kept us in the game because what 0-5 in the red zone for the Green Bay Packers. That's just an unbelievable achievement for them. Got some really good takeaways as well. Just unbelievable performance from the defense. Obviously, the talking point is Love going out, and there's a lot of talking points saying that the Packer fans are saying it was a dirty hit. Don't agree with that. I think people are saying look, it's 100 miles per hour. Love has looked at about three reads, stood still, put his head down, and Booker's hit him in the head. I agree. Yeah, it's a penalty, helmet to helmet, fine, but it's not a dirty hit. What is a dirty hit was the hit against DJ Moore, where he was literally nowhere near the play and he gets smacked behind. I mean, that was intentional. I don't think it's like I don't, it might sound a bit defensive, but they know that our wide receiver core was banged up. You got DJ Moore, who was going to be our main guy, and then they hit him from behind for no reason. Um, but there we go. But when Willis came in for Green Bay, to be fair, he was pretty decent, and I was getting pretty frustrated watching the game because it looked like he could do what he wanted. But I've also got to say hats off to Santos, who I criticised quite a bit. That 51 yarder he made, where the wind was basically blowing it, it looked like he was aiming at my house in England to get that ball to kind of blow towards between the posts. It was an unbelievable kick, and it was vital his field goals because without him, we don't even have a chance going towards the end of the game. But like I said, Green Bay dominated the game, and then we got towards the end, and it looked like we could have a chance of having a little comeback. We had to get a field goal just before the 2 minute warning. We failed to do that, and it was like, oh God, here we go. We've got to do an onside kick. But once we recovered the onside kick, chaos just occurred. Caleb Williams was just absolutely outstanding after that. Some of the plays after that were just ridiculous. That fourth down play to tie the game, throwing a ball to a undrafted rookie in Walker in the wind. And I actually think when you think 2 weeks back, that's a very similar situation that he was in against Green Bay, at Green Bay, but he was intercepted. So that's got to be in his head. But he's ignored that and he's just thrown an absolute stellar ball and fair play to him. And then the throw to DJ Moore to win the game was just, again, just ridiculous. Did I shout and scream? And it was 5:15 in the morning in the UK time. Did my missus get woken up and call me a dickhead because I woke up the 2-year-old? Yes, that did happen, but it was worth it. But I'm so happy for DJ to play for a team that's actually winning as well. But what a win! What a win! But today I'm joined by Fitz from Barroom Net. Thank you so much for joining me. I mean, just your reaction, just to not only like just a ridiculous game from the Bears again, but against Green Bay to win it.
So I've been watching Bears games since I was 7 years old. So since 1984. All right. And I'm trying to think of a better finish, especially against Green Bay. And, you had those finishes in 2001 with the Mike Brown interceptions in overtime against San Francisco, and you had the Bears are who we thought they were game in St. Louis in 2000, or I'm sorry, Arizona in 2006. I Given the team the circumstances behind it, and just who they were playing, I can't think of a better finish. It was, again, we've seen it 6 times now this year, and I'm surprised every time it happens. It's like you're there going, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, Caleb puts on his cape, and the Bears win. You're going, why was I even doubting this from the beginning? So it was remarkable. The game tying touchdown, I was speechless. I literally sat there going, said nothing, and then finally with the DJ Moore touchdown, I just screamed, scared all my cats, and my wife didn't know what was going on. So don't have the kids in the house anymore like you do to worry about. But it was a fantastic night, and I've seen that last play over and over again. And I get goosebumps every time I see it. How can they top that? I don't know, but they'll probably try before the season is done.
But I mean, they say the last play. They're saying that that's probably the most exciting play for the Bears since probably Devin Hester's return kickoff in the Super Bowl.
And this,
And
yeah,
I agree. Like,
that's same kind of a reaction. You're just sitting there. It's like there's a point I was like, my mouth was open. I should be screaming, but no sound was coming out because it's just I think my body was confused on how to react on that because we just don't get those games especially against Green Bay. So it's like it's 30 years of frustration, coming out. It was a great night, on national television. Everybody's watching it. I thought the call was great by the guys in the Fox booth because they were just as astonished as anyone else. So it's just great night. I was thinking about it for 3 quarters. I was thinking about doing this podcast with you, going, here we go again. It's just the Bears being the Bears, and then all of a sudden it changed. I'm like, okay, so it won't be a therapy session this time, because that's what podcasts can be with the Bears. Therapy sessions, getting all your frustrations. But it's changed this year, and it's wonderful. So
it's, it's it's what I said. I said the play caller was a bit questionable for majority of the game, and but we don't win that game without Ben Johnson because those players actually truly believe we can get into this game still, and like he's changed so much where a lot of the mistakes can get covered up because they're just fighting so hard for him, aren't they?
oh yeah, and you look when Caleb threw that ball, he puts his hands in his pockets like he knows it's going to be a touchdown. And I think that's right now the whole team just believes they're not going to lose. Um, even the last Green Bay game, they probably thought going into down to that last play that they were going to win that game, and it just didn't happen. But you talk about Ben Johnson and the play calling, and yeah, that 4th and 1 in the first quarter was just, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Just can't we just run a QB sneak like everybody else and get it? But I just was watching ESPN Get Up and Dan Orlovsky was breaking down that final play, all the things that went into setting it up. It wasn't accidental. You had Cairo Santos kicking 3 field goals, one from 51 yards, which I think was probably the most miraculous play of all in that game. You had the Bears running in that 13-man formation. They had the 3 tight ends. So they ran that play 7 times, that formation 7 times, and that play was the only time they threw the ball. So
Mhm.
you had Green Bay sneaking up. The secondary was sneaking up, anticipating a run because they can't give up another first down because they'll possibly be in field goal range, and that's what set it up. I never thought of that, but yeah, I mean Ben is thinking the whole game out, and none of us. He's playing chess, and we're all watching checkers. So
Yeah. I mean, I've got to talk about obviously the big story was obviously Love going out.
yeah.
So obviously the Packer fans are saying about Booker being it was a bit of a dirty hit. Are you in agree do you agree with me in the sense of I don't think it was a dirty hit. It was just a situation. Like I don't know what else Booker could have done in that situation. And when you compare that to the hit they did to DJ, where he was just literally had no involvement in the play, that was dirty. Are you in agreement or
Yeah, the play on Love was obviously it was illegal because it was helmet to helmet, but I mean he lowered his head into
Mhm.
to Booker. I mean if you look at it, if he's standing where Booker is aiming, he hits him right in the chest. Maybe they get it's too violent of a hit, but anyway, it's there's no helmet to helmet, and hearing the this is how I look at all the complaining about that. Um, it's like I go back to my parenting days with my kids. If I told them, they couldn't do something, and they get upset with you and start calling you names and everything, you just sort of you don't take offense to it because you've been there before, and
Mhm.
you just let it go. I didn't get into any back and forth with anybody on that because I just I get where they're coming from. In the rivalry, you want to just have everything and anything to just be frustrated about, and that was a horrible play for them. I mean,
Mhm.
Love is having an MVP season, and who knows when he'll be back at this point. I mean, it's not just the Bears game that they could be losing; it could be two more. And with Malik
Mhm.
Willis having a right shoulder injury, that's the Packers' future right now is kind of like on a 50-50.
Mhm.
It's not guaranteed. Um, so yeah, I get where they're coming from, the frustration. I've been there before, but it was not a dirty play at
No.
all. It was a bang bang, and it was very unfortunate. So
Like the talk, like during the week, obviously, was Parsons was out as well. And it was
mhm.
kind of like, oh, the Bears should actually win this game. But actually, when you look at it, without Parsons, they were still a top five defense last season.
Yeah.
So it was like in my head, I was like, well, it's still going to be a tough game. With that being said, were you concerned that, I mean, pretty much 90% of the game that the offense really couldn't get anything going? Are you concerned about that going into the playoffs?
Oh yeah, it just that seems to be every week. It just takes them a while to get going, and then when they need it most, they get it done. Uh,
Mhm.
except for what two games, except for the Dallas game and Cleveland. I mean, they've just kind of struggled for at least three quarters or parts of it, where it just looks like you don't know what you're really watching out there. I wasn't so surprised that they struggled against the Packers because you know, like you said, they were a top five defense last year. They were going to make adjustments. They were going to be inspired. They have great coaching up and down the roster too. So no, I wasn't as concerned, or I wasn't as surprised that they struggled as much. But that definitely is a concern. My concerns for the Bears are always getting the offense going, make sure and the defense giving up big plays,
Mhm.
and those are my two big things with it. And that hasn't changed after Saturday night.
So, I mean, like I've given Santos quite a bit of grief. But like you said, that kick, that 51 yarder was just ridiculous. Like you could see the ball moving about five times to get it over there and stuff. But I guess it's like the consistency issue with him, isn't it? Like I wouldn't be surprised next week if he misses a 20 yarder. And it's like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So it's like, so where are you with Santos? Do you think next season we should be kind of opening the competition in terms of the kicker? Or am I just overreacting?
No, I think remember he's not Ben's guy. This is a lot of making this Ben's team, and I think they will be open to um, a new kicking situation. Also, yeah, you talk about that about play calling. That was one of the most the loudest I was when I saw them coming out for that field goal. I'm like, what, 51 yards in this wind? Because all I'm thinking is he has, a 51 yarder is long for Santos. He does not have a big leg. So he's going to kick it low and it's going to get blocked just like it did last year. And they're going to give Green Bay the ball at midfield. And that's going to be it. That was like between that and the 4th and 1. I couldn't believe that they were actually going for the field goal. Mr. Go for it on 4th down here is putting it, in the one situation that I thought he wouldn't, but that's why I'm sitting on a couch watching and not, and that's why they get, $15 million a year to make those decisions. But um, Santos he's like the Bears. The You look at the offense and the struggles they have, but they always get it done when they need to. You look at the defense and the struggles they have, but they always get it done when they need to. Santos is no different.
Mhm.
He's been getting it done when they need it. And so I'll worry about next year after this year's over.
Yeah. Like so be honest. So last night. watching the Lions and Steelers game, how ill did you feel about rooting for Rodgers?
So that's a little more personal to me because Pittsburgh's my second team, and they always have.
Okay.
I've got family from Pittsburgh. My great grandmother was the greatest Steelers fan I've ever met. Okay. I mean, it goes back years. I mean, generational. So when Rodgers came to the team, I was conflicted. Just why, the world is upside down. So I've kind of compartmentalized him, I guess. And just, okay, the Steelers have to get this done so the Bears get in the playoffs. And I had no problem with it. He was just number 8 or whatever he is now. And that's all I was watching. So
Yeah, fair enough. But like, so we're in the playoffs. What are your expectations? So obviously we just need one more win to win the NFC North. But obviously there's arguments that we could get top of NFC conference. What are your expectations? What do you think's gonna happen?
well, yeah, there's a chance we get the number 1 seed and win out. And then you got to have Seattle for at least come back, and they've got two. They're finishing their 2 last games on the road, which I don't know, that seems unfair. At least you should have one of those last 2 games at home. But hey, it is what it is. They're in Carolina, and then they finish against San Francisco. So there's a chance they lose one of those. Those aren't gimmies by any means. So the, I'm hoping for the number 1 seed right now, and or at least a home. They're going to get the division, so you have a home playoff game. That would be really exciting. And then I think I said this from the Pittsburgh game on our show. Why not the Bears? I mean, who's really that much better? I mean, Kansas City's out. You can't say them. We beat the Eagles. I mean, the Rams and Seahawks, they're not unstoppable, and they've shown that. So I'm just saying, ride this thing for all it's worth. Let's go for the Super Bowl. I mean, it sounds crazy from where we were, week 1 and, week 2 after Detroit, but this is the NFL today. It's not what I grew up, with. You had your main teams that you knew who were going to be there, the Dallases, the San Franciscos, the Buffaloes, or whatever, back in the 90s. This is just whoever's riding that wave, take it and just go with it. There's no automatics anymore. So we're that team that's getting all the breaks this year. Fine. I don't apologize. Let's keep getting those breaks.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, I feel really uncomfortable because it's probably
Say
the
it.
first. I feel like just uncomfortable because like this is the first year where I've seen like neutral media saying the Bears could get the Super Bowl, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
well, the predictions against Green Bay, we were favorites. I was like, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
I've never, like, I'm not used to that. I'm not used to like this expectation that the Bears are good and that we should be beating these teams. And I'm like, wow. But that's what Ben Johnson's done after a horrific last season for the Bears, and like, it's insane, absolutely insane. So like, I guess my last question is like my last question was going to be is going into the playoffs, how far do you think we're going to go? But I'm guessing you think,
Let's go. Let's
yeah.
we're going to be playing in California in February. You know, so I'm on the train. Let's go to the Super Bowl. I mean, you don't know what next year brings. I mean, just you know, fortunes change in an instant. Just ask Green Bay. Look at Kansas City. We're riding it right now. Let's keep going. Look at Washington. Everyone's saying we're the Washington of this year. Fine. We'll be Washington, and then we'll win the NFC Championship game. Keep going. So let's just do it. I have. It was uncomfortable at first, but now just say it. Just get it out. It feels good. It's cleansing.
Yeah,
Bears
I
are
mean,
going to the Super Bowl.
like I really don't think anyone wants to play us, especially if we're at home. Like I really don't
No.
think anyone wants to play us, and that's like a really big thing. So
Yeah.
if we could get home advantage, that would be awesome. But yeah, this team's insane, and just
Yeah.
it's like you're actually proud to support the Bears again now. It's like you're
Oh, I
just
know. And the
it's
city's been great. I've been out about in downtown and in the city. It's just the vibe is different. You feel it. You know, people are wearing their Bears gear with pride. You know, we're not covering up the sea as we get on the train or anything. You know, it's been a lot of fun this year, and I just hope it keeps going. That's all. It's yeah, and like you said, no one wants to play the Bears at home, especially, and then running game travels. You know, they go on the road. They'll they're not going to be an easy knockout on the road either. Just ask Philadelphia. So yeah,
Yes,
believe it, man. It's
oh, and I mean, like we've got to give credit to the Pope as well, I guess, don't we?
right, exactly.
Like,
You know,
surely. No,
it's
but
yeah.
thank you so much for coming on. I hope you have a great Christmas, obviously, because it's going to be Christmas now this week. So
Yeah.
have a great Christmas, and thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, anytime. Thank you. Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you. Merry Christmas.